Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar about Slovenia. I am Joris Kruisbergs from Aviorabs, and I thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to learn more about this small but beautiful, diverse, and green country. In a second, I will give the word to Jelena Pokucha from the Slovenia Tourist Board, followed by Dejan Iskra from the Green Karst and Clemen Lengus from the Julian Alps region. During the presentations, you can ask questions by using the chat function, which will be answered at the end of the presentations. Please stay with us until the very end, as we have some nice weekend packages for two to give away, plus some other presents. Enjoy the webinar. Jelena, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joris. Hello to everybody and welcome also from my side. As said, my name is Jelena. Thank you for taking your time today to get to know Slovenia a bit better. I would also like to thank my co-host Dejan and Clemen for joining us. Just before we start with the presentation, we would like to invite you to make yourself comfortable and relax, for we would like to bring you some of the Slovenia atmosphere into your offices, into your homes.
Listen, traveler, it's too late to go back now. The forests have filled your lungs, rivers run in your heart. You have set the course for the land so green and abound with unspoilt nature that you will never be the same. You have come to Slovenia. To live hand in hand with these natural riches is a deep-rooted gratitude locals feel every day. The respect for nature shows in the way we think, live, and do. Slovenia Green is a unique story and a great lesson in sustainability for the rest of the world. It began with a pledge to preserve the pristine nature for us and for you. We set out on a long, steep path and became active guardians of our natural heritage. Local communities and tourist providers have all come together to build a unique model of sustainability in tourism. Over a decade, we put together a visionary policy that nurtures everyone by the table. Today, we are one of the world's greenest destinations. We encourage you to visit us by train, bike, or on foot. On your way, you will come to understand why we included the right to clean drinking water in our Constitution. We believe in responsible observation of the mysterious wildlife. The inhabitants of our ancient forest can teach us all how important it is to protect our planet. When your step becomes heavy, it is time to rest. We think green accommodation should be as close to stars, birds, and trees as possible. We believe in the green inspiration from one generation to another, from one traveler to another. It comes with a view that overwhelms. To know how to listen to a tree is for us a way of traveling too. You can never cross the same stream, walk the same forest path twice. Our commitment and enthusiasm for sustainable tourism have been contagious. Today we stand united, together with you, dear traveler, under the vision of Green Slovenia.
So, in today's presentation, we'll touch different subjects, from active and cultural activities, food and wine, natural spa resorts, and more. Let's see first where Slovenia is located. It has a great Central European location in a triangle between Venice, Vienna, and Budapest, which makes it easily accessible from everywhere. You can reach us by car, bus, train, or with a 2-hour flight to Slovenia from Amsterdam or Brussels. We are hearing how health safety and hygiene are the new luxury now. I'd like to point out that Slovenia is without a doubt one of the safest countries in the world in general. But what is the most important currently is the health safety. Slovenia has one of the best epidemiologic pictures in Europe, and we're taking all the measures, also in tourism and hospitality, to preserve this. Although Slovenia is a small country, it is a very diverse because it is located at the crossroad of 4 geographical regions: the Alps, the Mediterranean, the Pannonian Plain, and the Karst. Slovenia is one of the greenest countries in the world in terms of nature, as 60% of its surface is covered with forest, and it is also one of the richest countries in terms of water. But Slovenia is green also in terms of our commitment to development of sustainable tourism, as you could already see and feel in the video, and we are proud of many achievements in this field. And if you really want to be one with nature, you can also stay in any of our camps, a tent, caravan, motorhome, or only your personal luggage, in an organized but completely natural environment. But if you prefer more luxury, you can stay in one of our glamping resorts in pristine nature. Green nature is also a perfect playground for active holidays. From hiking, cycling, biking, skiing, fishing, golfing, and many more. In this part, I would just like to name a few locations. For example, at the heart of the Julian Alps lies Lake Bohinj. The hills and valley around it offer an exceptional hiking and biking trails. Talking about activities, we for sure not leave out the beautiful valley, a valley of action, energy, festivals, and discoveries. More of this beautiful region my colleague Clement will explain later. And now we are moving back to the Mediterranean coast that is ideal for swimming, sailing, stand-up paddling, or simply taking a walk through the narrow streets of the historic coastal towns. Slovenia also has a rich cultural heritage. Everywhere you go, you'll be impressed by historic towns, fairy tale castles, and festivals. And where else to start our cultural journey through Slovenia than in Ljubljana, our capital? The image of the town by Ljubljanica River, with 3 bridges and a marketplace, was designed by the famous architect Jože Plečnik. It is a lively city, surrounded by parks and natural protected areas. When talking about culture, we should mention also Maribor, Slovenia's second largest city with the oldest grape wine in the world. At the only Slovenian island, Lake Bled, you can find a Gothic and a Baroque church. There you can ring a bell and the legend says that by doing so, you'll be blessed with years of happiness and luck, which I'm sure you'll agree are always welcome. We can take a traditional Pletna boat to the island, and from it, you will enjoy the view of the medieval castle placed on the rock overlooking the entire area. At the coast, Piran is a romantic historical town with the main square called Tartini Square, named after violinist and composer Giuseppe Tartini. Piran grew with the help of salt, and today in Setolia salt pans, you can still discover how salt is produced traditionally, like it was done 700 years ago. One of the cultural highlights of Slovenia is without a doubt Lipica, the oldest stud farm in Europe. In Slovenia, we have more than 10,000 karst caves. Postojna cave is the most popular and one of the most visited tourist caves in the world. More about karst region will tell you my colleague Dejan later. No matter time of the year, there are festivals all around Slovenia that are really worth visiting, such as an open-air theaters, music festivals, street performances, and many more. In order to get a good insight into nation's culture, it is important to understand local food and wine culture as well. Slovenia is diverse also in this aspect. In 24 gastronomic regions and 3 wine growing areas of Slovenia, there are no less than 365 typical local dishes and drinks. Need to stress and to point out that Slovenia has also been awarded the title of European Region of Gastronomy 2021. In case you don't have enough time to visit all the Slovenian regions, culinary events such as the Odprta kuhna, meaning open kitchen, offer an excellent opportunity to taste Slovenia in just one place. And farm-to-table concept is a regular feature in Slovenian restaurants as they source their ingredients from local farms. We have more than 800 tourist farms where you can also spend your holidays and be a part of daily farm activities. We have many amazing chefs in Slovenia. I will just mention 2 of them. Very famous Ana Roš and Tomaž Kavčič, but the best thing to get to know all of them properly is to come and taste their food. This year, really soon, actually now in June, we are all anxiously waiting for the announcement of the list of the best Slovenian restaurants included in the first Michelin Guide to Slovenia, and will be glad to share it with you once the secret is revealed. In the last part of my presentation, I would like to talk about Slovenian spa resorts, as they are one of the most important products of Slovenian tourist offer. We have 15 natural spa resorts in Slovenia with centuries-long tradition. They have developed green, active, and healthy experiences for body, mind, and soul. The offer of Slovenian natural health resorts can be divided into 4 main products. Health treatment related with programs for rehabilitation, medical wellness to preserve health and prevent diseases, wellness and selfness, and aquafun thermal water parks, which are perfect for families. And to make exploring Slovenia even more personal, we've designed boutique 5-star experiences with Slovenia Unique Experiences label. Here are just a couple of them. Just to give you a first taste, you can find all of them on our webpage, where you'll find many other useful information to help you prepare a perfect holiday for you and your clients. Now, I would like to pass the word to Dejan to take you on a virtual karst adventure.
Thank you, Jelena, very much for a nice presentation of Slovenia as a country. There really is a lot to do and to see over here. But first, Joris, please could you turn on the video about some of the highlights from our region? Just really a couple of short inserts in a video about our highlights regarding natural and cultural heritage that we have to offer. But firstly, hello and greetings again to everybody from our little destination called Green Karst. Slovenian karst is like all of the karst landscapes in the world, basically. It only needs three things. It needs stone, it needs water, and it needs really a lot of time. This is because the karst is devolved by water, and it's one of the most special landscapes that we have in Slovenia. Where are we located? We are located just between Italy and Croatia, about half an hour drive from our main capital, Ljubljana, about 30 minutes from Slovenian seaside, and about half an hour drive also from the area of Goriška Brda and Vipava Valley, which are on the border with Italy. Our area, as already mentioned, is famous because of the typical karst terrain, typical because of its Lipizzaner horses, and also typical for its natural wonders, which can be found both above ground and below ground. Just a couple of words with everything that we do. We are a DMO working in the Green Karst destination, which means that we are also working as a travel agency and tour operators, but our main focus is specifically the area which we are at. This means that we are doing the experiences that are tailor-made for our guests, which come from all over the world. We try to personalize the offer as much as possible regarding their needs, their preferences, their activities that they would like to do, and so on. And by doing this, we try to incorporate as much as possible from our local environment. So this means we are using locally produced food, we use local tourist guides to try to create an experience that is really as tailor-made and as unique as possible. What I find really interesting, because we are doing this for the Netherlands market, is that we also have a couple of Netherlands persons from Netherlands who live in Slovenia for quite some time, and they are really active in the field of tourism. So they are working both as travel guides and as specialists in the field of cultural tourism and exploration of natural wonders. As already mentioned, our main highlights is the nature that we are living in. And it's famous for both above ground and below ground natural occurrences. Our most famous attractions are most definitely the caves. Postojna Cave, as already mentioned, is one of the most famous in Slovenia and also one of the most visited ones. Each of the caves that we have has its own unique value. So, for example, if you visit Postojna Cave, it's really nice one. It has a train ride and the interior is one of a kind. UNESCO World Heritage Sites such as Shkutsian Caves are protected, and they offer another experience of the underground world. Smaller caves such as Krishna, for example, are special because one part of visit is done on foot and one part with a boat. So you basically go on a boat ride underground on these emerald lakes. There is 22 of them, but only the first 12 are visitable by public. Some of the highlights that we also have in the net on the surface of the karst phenomena are so-called disappearing lakes. There is a lot of them to be found in our area. The natural park of Piuca is one of them, which has 17 different lakes which disappear. This means that during the high season, when there is a lot of water, the lakes are formed and are basically there to be seen. And then in summertime, when there is not a lot of water, all of the lake disappears underground into the caves. So we are left with beautiful karst fields, famous for its flowers and wildlife. So that's why we also do quite a lot of ornithology and flower plant observation tours. Planina Field, this is just one image of the flooded area, is one of the largest, but definitely the most famous is the Lake Tsirknica, which when full is the largest lake in Slovenia. Some of the natural highlights also include so-called collapsed valleys. My personal favorite is Rakovškocian Natural Park, which is basically, you can see how the cave would look if the sun went inside, because the cave ceiling collapsed and all we are left is basically a really nice environment with educational paths, with cycling trails, locations for everybody to explore. Some of our specialties are also so-called disappearing waterfalls. Similar phenomena as the lakes, this also occur when there is a lot of water coming from the higher altitudes, and the areas are filled with this beautiful, beautiful waterfalls. Of course, nature is not only the only thing that we are working on. Culture is also quite an important part of our tourist offer. This is, for example, the Predjama treasure located in the Karst Museum in Postojna, and it comes from one of the caves just below Predjama Castle. This is one of the most famous locations that we have in Slovenia, and it's been standing in the same place in this rocky face for almost 800 years. And the interesting story is that the cave explorers found the hidden treasure during one of their excavations, and it's now available for public to be seen in the museum exhibit. Castles are really an important part of our cultural heritage, so we have quite a lot of them. For example, Snežnik and also Prem. And we have decided that we need to add additional value to each of these sites. So, for example, at Snežnik Castle, different festivals take place each year. And Prem Castle, we decided to do some special things, but more on that later. As far as museum goes, we also have quite an important museum of Park of Military History, which focuses on technology and vehicles from the military use. But the specialty is that they really focus a lot on user experience. So one of their highlights is definitely the visit of the interior of the submarine, but they also have a flight simulator so that the children, smaller and larger, can see and experience how the hypersonic flight feels like. Cultural events are really an important part. I would like to tell you just 2 words about our masks and carnivals. Each year during Shrovetide celebrations, from February until March, there is different carnivals taking place all over Europe, all over our country. Sorry. In Green Karst, three of the most important ones are in Ilirska Bistrica, in Postojna, and in Crkvica, where local masks can be seen. For example, these are one of the oldest Shkoromati masks that can be found also in Europe, and they are only present in the carnival of Ilirska Bistrica because it's their home carnival. What we do as a DMO is basically we try to connect all of these natural and cultural sites into the programs, into the itineraries that tourists or travelers find interesting. So we include, for example, Snezhnik Mountain, which is our highest peak, but also protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, into different products. We are developing Via Dinarica hiking trail, which is 160 kilometers long trail, and it starts close to Predjama Castle, and then visits all of the main activity, all of the main natural sites, cultural sites along the way, and it then continues the trail on the Croatian side, and then towards south in Bosnia, Albania, Kosovo, and so on. Slovenian part, as already mentioned, of Via Dinarica is about 160 kilometers long, and it usually takes hikers about 7 or 8 days to visit all of the different stages. Other activities that are currently being developed are water sports, such as canoe and kayak rides on different lakes and rivers. But what we maybe focus most is the cycling tourism, but for different target groups, different types of cyclists. So in the area we have offer for mountain bikes, for downhill cycling, but what I really admire most is the cycling for disabled. So tourism for all is really an important part of our area, because we have the tourist provider called Ars Viva, who focuses mostly on traveling for people with disabilities. So it's the first hostel in Slovenia and also in the wider area dedicated specifically for the persons with disabilities. So this means that everything is made that people in wheelchairs can move freely. Also, blind people can take cycling tours and so on. Our highlight program, which we have developed this year, is called Explore the Wonder Nature. It basically enables us to combine modular programs into one whole. It's a connection of natural sites which are visited for smaller groups, of course, or individuals who are visited by, who are accompanied by specialists from each area of expertise. So, for example, when you go into the museum, you visit with a museum curator. When you go into the caves, you go with an experienced caver. You take part in a hands-on approach in creation of some local cultural elements, such as ice skates. And what's really important is that this is a cross-country program, so it connects tourism offer in Slovenia and in Croatia in underdeveloped or less known parts of our two countries. The highlight of this Explore the Wonder Nature program is most definitely observation of brown bears in their natural habitat. But this is more than just a safari tour. It's basically main focus is to give people who attend these tours knowledge about bears, about bear population, about their natural habitat, about their lives and how humans interact with them and vice versa. So we try to see this as more than just an activity, but as as a mean how to influence on people to take nature in consideration. Similar goes to wild lynx observations in the area and also bird watching, which are also part of the Explore the Wonder Nature program. For all of our guests, we usually try to recommend smaller accommodations which we have in the area. One of the most interesting is this glamorous camping site called at Lake Bloke. But we usually work with, as already mentioned, smaller family-run bed and breakfasts or tourist farms, where you get first-hand experience on how to live and work and be like a local. Lastly, but not leastly, we have to say a couple of words about our food and wine, because those are two of the most important elements that are included into each and every experience of wherever you go, basically in the world. Our area has a couple of EU protected typical products such as prosciutto, slivovica, and Brinjevec spirits. But we usually try to promote also the handmade food, which is passed on from recipes throughout generations. So these are some of the examples of homemade gnocchi with plums, which can be used either as sweet as savory, and also different tastings, either in natural habitats such as wine tasting in the vineyards. Last year, we did 3 different events focusing on how to combine the really beautiful natural and cultural locations that we have, and we were searching for an idea how to combine food with them. So we came up with 3 so-called secret dinners concepts that were taking place in 3 different locations. One was in Castle Prem, in a really natural castle-like environment. One was in a park of military history, so there was a combination of fine dining between a museum exhibit dedicated to Slovenian independence. And the last one was dedicated to showcase the beautiful natural backdrop that we have in the karst, with the top Slovenian chef, also famous from the TV. The events were really well prepared, and also the feedback from participants was excellent. So we try to continue with this also in the future, as it was one of the, in my opinion, one of the nicest combinations of what we have to offer, serve local in a local environment, but at the same time take the nature that we have as a perfect backdrop, basically. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the chat box, and I would like to pass the word on to Clement from Julian Alps.
Thank you, Dejan, for this beautiful insights to our Slovenian karst region. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear service providers, dear journalists, dear colleagues, dear friends, goedendag. I do hope it was close enough. As mentioned already, my name is Clement Langus, and I am the Director of Tourism Walking, which is local tourist board, but also the coordinator of the Julian Alps Association or community, which is actually a regional network at a tourist level. And today I would like to present you our region and brand new long distance hiking trail. Speaking about the Julian Alps, this is actually a wide area under the UNESCO Man and Biosphere program, which is, this is my opinion, an important program where man and nature play the main role in the film, which is going to be in the future entitled Finding the Right Balance. and it's also a region that covers the area of one of the oldest park in Europe, national park in Europe, and the only park in Slovenia, which is called after the highest mountain in Slovenia, Triglav. That's why the name of the park is Triglav National Park. And my dear friends, you have to be jealous now. You have to envy me. Why? Because I see Triglav from where I'm just sitting just right now, from my office chair, and I'm looking towards Triglav through my office window. You can imagine that I'm quite a lucky guy. Why I'm showing you this? Because this is an answer why sustainable development is a must. The special feature of the Julian Alps UNESCO Biosphere area lies in the multitude and diversity of precious natural phenomena and cultural heritage on a very small, remember this, small and enclosed area which cannot be found anywhere else in Europe except in the Julian Alps in Slovenia, which almost entirely lie in the protected area of the Triglav National Park. And this is the proof that we are part of this program. Now, Julian Alps Biosphere Reserve, or better region, because reserve might have negative connotation, this is a geographical image of our region. The northwest part of Slovenia borders to Italy and Austria. It is about 1,200 kilometers from Amsterdam. It will take you this, what we say, 2 hours flight, 8 hours drive, but we encourage people to use public transport to come to the area. I checked train connections today from Amsterdam to Ljubljana, to Bled, to Julian Alps, and this would take you about 15 hours, about approximately 3 to 5 changes. You go Amsterdam to Munich, Munich to Villach in Austria, and then Villach to Bled, and you are in our region. Some information about the Julian Alps region, which will help you to get the entire image of the region. One national park already said, 2 nature reserves, 43 natural monuments, natural areas, 2,200 animal species, 1,600 types of plants. It's no wonder that our region hosts the International Wildflower Festival, kind of homage to man and nature, which take place every year in May and June in Bochum Julian Alps. Also this year, ladies and gentlemen, affected by the coronavirus epidemic, we have managed to make the festival two-dimensionally, meaning virtually, also some events live, so that those people who want to visit Bochum and Julian Alps and Slovenia for those purposes can now see all its beauty online. The cultural heritage, 3 cultural monuments, etc., etc., a lot of cultural heritage. The people living in the Julian Alps area are very much intertwined with preserving and caring for natural and cultural heritage. Our goals based on 3 pillars: preserved natural environment, sustainable development, and of course, environmentally friendly tourism in our biosphere region. The Julian Alps can be proud of many international awards that prove that this is an exceptional geographical area. The last prize, ladies and gentlemen, we won one part of Julian Alps, namely Bochum. Bochum has been recognized by European Best Destinations, which falls under the European Commission's Eden Network, among 20 safest regions in Europe. And of course, you can imagine how happy we are about this. Not just we, but the whole Slovenia with us. Now, let's talk about numbers, about tourism in the region. I told you before that this is a small area, but for us, it's quite a big one. 2,000 square kilometers and only 90,000 inhabitants, people here. It means also, dear friends, that we have enough space to keep the recommended social or physical distance of 1.5 meter. Now, we are quite important also in Slovenian tourism. We represent 26% of all Slovenian tourism. 40,000 different beds in hotels, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, apartments, private rooms, camping sites, glamping sites, alpine huts. So you can find what you wish actually in the area. The June Alps community has brought together major and strong destinations. I assume that lots of you know some of them. For example, this one, Bled, the Alpine Pearl with glacial lake in island and castle on a cliff, or already mentioned Bokin, the hidden oasis in the center of Triglav National Park, with the largest natural permanent lake in Slovenia, which has more than 100 million liters of water. According to our local legend, would fill just the right wooden bucket if it were big enough. Vriška Brda, also called the Slovenian Tuscany, a wine region at the foothills of the Julian Alps. The beautiful scenery marked by Emerald Socha River, which offers a lot of possibilities for outdoor sports activities, hiking, canoeing, rafting, paragliding, cycling, etc., etc. Let's go back to the north. Kranjska Gora. Here we see Zelenci on the photo, one of the spring of the Sava River, which is the longest river in Slovenia. Kranjska Gora is a very popular, and you would know this, ski center and the venue of the World Cup in alpine skiing and ski jump. Okay, dear friends, these are quite good facts, quite good numbers, isn't it? Everybody is perfect until, but there is always a but. Not only Slovenia, also other regions in the world have faced contradictions between the promises and reality in the past 2 or 3 years before the coronavirus, of course. We offer tourists, and this is our job actually, so to say, peace, quiet, quality, unspoiled nature, beautiful countryside, friendly people, etc. We actually are promising paradise on earth. But is this the reality? To keep this promise in our small country, Slovenia, and also in Julian Alps, and according to the sustainable tourism model, we promote responsible tourism management. That tourism brings value to the environment, nature, of course, people, the local community, preserves cultural heritage, and accelerates the development of the local environment. And of course, gives to our guests, to our visitors, 5-star experience all the time. Therefore, the balance between development and the protection is our priority. Responsible tourism is an opportunity for our generation, which we were quite aware even before the corona crisis. But now, I think it's an opportunity for all of us. When talking about the Julian Alps and Slovenia, I have no fear. The foundation of the house is white, and it's strong. It's very strong, and it's now up to us how the new house after this crisis, our reconstructed house, will look like. And this is how we came to an idea of designing a long distance trail. It's not just another tourist product, but is the basis for our cooperation in the region. It's called Juliana Trail and represents all our values and visions. Here, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear friends, some technical information. The total length of the Juliana Trail is 270 kilometers, about 10,000 meter ascent and descent. Same. It has 16 stages, about approximately 17 to 20 kilometers a stage, which you would need about 4 to 5 hours. But we encourage that you go slowly, that you walk slowly. One stage a day is quite fine. Even a half stage a day is okay. The trail can be hiked as a single stage, also as a single stage. But we would rather see that you visit our region several times. It's quite good. It's marked well. difficulty, it's easy, maybe one stage moderate. The trail has been digitalized, and from the end of this month, it will be able. It is going to be. It is going to have also an app. We also prepared a small guidebook, and later in the year we will also prepare another guidebook with some extra information about some legend stories about the area. All information you can find under this on this website. The trail also has a booking center where you can make a reservation, and the booking center will help you also with all other organizations, such as, for example, luggage transfer. Some of the images from the trail. This is a very important news. You won't be conquering any mountain. The trail doesn't lead you, for example, up to Triglav, the highest mountain, the symbol of Slovenia. The trail runs at the foothills of high mountains and on the edges of the Julian Alps and the Triglav National Park. This is, for example, one of the magnificent view that you can enjoy along the trail, the so-called the Spik mountain range in Upper Salzburg. The trail runs you also through small villages, some of them already abandoned, but this one is a very, very huge one, Radolica. This is the old town of Radolica, which is known also by Chocolate Festival organized every year in April. Sweet Radolica. The trail takes you to places where you can feel the pulse of the life in the Julian Alps, where you can enjoy breathtaking natural and cultural heritage, as well explore the biodiversity of alpine world, and of course, where you meet people, which is also very, very, very important. Where we prove to you that we have not forgotten about the nature and have preserved it for everyone, also for you, my dear colleagues. The trail takes you to clear rivers, here, Socha, waterfalls, forests, breathtaking trees that hang over cliffs, and lets you wander through flower-filled meadows. Just now, flowers in the meadows are the meadows are full of flowers. That's why wildflower festival every year. Ladies and gentlemen, let me finish with this beautiful picture towards Bled Island. To explore, to hike, to experience new and unknown adventures, to see and feel everything is not offered to everyone. We would like to invite you to experience this trail, to explore the contrast between the promise and reality, and to find simplicity in our life. Julian Alps, actually the Juliana Trail, 6 different heroes. Like here, my dear friend Ivana, or here, my dear friend Martin. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me finish like this. In a few years' time, and this is of course the job of tourism too, the Juliana Trail is going to be measured. And besides arrivals, overnight numbers, tourist consumption, I do hope it's going to be measured also by hectares of cultivated landscape, by how our attitude towards biodiversity has been changed in a positive way. How many new means of public transport has been introduced in the area? How many young people, families decided to stay in the region? Actually, I do hope that not just you, my dear colleagues, but also the doctors will prescribe Juliana Trail for different kind of problems. For example, stage 1 for headache problems, stage 9 for stomach problems, etc. Thank you very much and welcome to Slovenia. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joris. Now we prepared also a short video for you. Yeah, sorry, Joris, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Jelena, Dejan, and Clement for showing us your beautiful country. We will now proceed to the Q&A part of this webinar. I've got following questions. Well, first of all, and I think this is also the most important one, especially on this short notice, what are the current entry conditions for tourists coming from the Benelux? Jelena? Yeah.
Well, according to the conditions we have, the 15th of June is the date when European countries will start to release travel measurements and also the borders, but we should wait.
Jelena, sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, but can you repeat? Maybe get closer to the mic.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I just wanted to say that yes, the 15th of June is the date when the European countries will start to release travel measures and opening borders. But let us keep our fingers crossed and think positive, because all depends on the epidemiologic situation in some countries and also on the bilateral agreement between the countries. But we are hoping that after the 15th of June, everything will be okay, or just possible to travel.
Okay, so a little bit more patience and then we know more.
That's right.
Okay, someone else wanted to know, and I assume it's for the three of you, if there are agent deals in place for doing excursions in Slovenia?
Yeah, maybe if I say for our part, for Greencast, yeah, we try to work as close as possible with all of agents, so there are also possibilities of special tours.
Okay, no, great. Okay, so I mean the contact details anyway are in this presentation, so they can always contact you individually. Another question, where can agents find pictures to download so they can place them on their social media, on their website and so on?
Yes, of course. On our web page, they can find video and photo gallery. It is for free. They just need to register and get the password, and then you can use it.
Okay, great. Dejan, a question for you. The caves, can they be visited with kids? Well, several questions. Can they be visited with kids? Are guides available? Are these guides for private tours only or for group tours only? And if the caves can be visited all year long?
Yeah, of course. Majority of caves is possible to visit with kids. Some are really special that, for example, there is an age minimum, for example, 10 years, because there are natural caves, but majority, such as Postojna caves and Škocjan caves, they are open for everybody. As far as the best time to visit the caves, it's really, they are open throughout the year. One of the specialties maybe from our area, Križna cave, which has the underground lakes. The best time to visit that is during winter time, because the water which is in the cave is really clear, so it has a special color, but otherwise it's open throughout the year. And all of the caves are visited by, are accompanied by, cave visits are accompanied by specialized licensed travel guides, or basically guides in the cave, so people cannot go inside without any accompany. They are usually per group, but it depends on from cave to cave. The groups are different. So, for example, in Postojna there are different time schedules when you arrive, and you go with train inside and so on. In smaller caves, the groups are when there are basically reservations done, or also on different time schedules.
Okay. So. Okay, thank you. Clement, for you, on the Juliana Trail, is there a luggage service? If people go from one or hike from one place to another, does their luggage follow?
Yeah, like I said in the presentation, there is a booking center. You will find this on the website, and they will organize everything for you.
Okay, I assume on that website you can find info on accommodations and so on as well.
Yes, or just write an email to booking center, and they will find you any kind of accommodation along the way, because this is really good. The trail leads you through this central part of Julian Alps, actually through the small towns and villages. So all kind of accommodation is available.
Okay, then last question before we go over to the prize draw. Someone is asking, Jelena, when the country is open for tourists again and they want to go to restaurants, musea, and so on, is there already like, do they need to bring masks? Do they need to make reservations for it? Or is that maybe too soon to tell at this moment?
No, because our restaurants are more or less already open. And of course, they need to use masks.
Okay, okay, good. Well, thank you for all the questions. I think we answered most of them. So now, yeah, we go to the part that you all have been waiting for, the prize draw. To avoid discussion afterwards, I used the tool Random Name Picker to choose the winners. So here we go. As you heard, in Slovenia, there is a lot to discover on the culinary side. So we start with 5 Apron and Go Mio guides for you to go and explore these culinary delights yourself. These 5 packages go to Monique Pluim from TUI, Ad Goedhart from Pelikaan Reizen, Ronald Hofmeester from Hofmeester Travel, Antoinette Jacobs from Alpenreizen, and Angelique Schillings from the Travel Club. You will all be informed later on by email as well. We also give 2 weekend packages away. First one is from the Julian Alps. The package consists of Hotel Jezero for 2 persons in Bohinj, and that one goes to Rianne Spoor from SRC Reizen. And the second package is going to the Green Karst, which is also a package for 2 persons on all-inclusive experience for the region. And that one goes to Svenja Simpson from Sales Lens in Luxembourg. So with these great prizes, we have come to the end of this webinar. Once more, I would like to thank Jelena, Dejan, and Clement for the enthusiastic presentations. This webinar will be placed on the website of STB and will be forwarded to you, so it can be used to show to your colleagues or to convince potential clients to go to Slovenia. If you want, you can also put it on your websites. So, all has been said. Thanks once more for attending. All the best, and hope to see you soon in Slovenia.
Thank you all also from my side, and congrats to lucky winners.
Thank you also from my side, and welcome to Slovenia.
Yeah, goodbye.